To further cause instability, they plotted a matricide, the murder of the heir apparent to the Asantehene Kofi Kakari, that is Berima Mensah Bonsu. They took many treasures to the United Kingdom and sold them on the open market. And so individuals and organizations such as the British Museum, the Victoria and Albert Museum acquired some. With time, some of the objects got to the Americas, to as far as to the West Coast in California and to the University of California in Los Angeles. For over a century, 3 of your predecessors called for the return of these objects. When he returned from exile in 1924, Prempeh I did so. His nephew, Prempeh II, in 1946, met with the leadership through the keeper of ethnography at the British Museum on these. A decision was even made that a £20,000 museum will be established in Kumasi. It was never done. Your brother, Otumfuor II, continued, and there was the famous exhibition, The Kingdom of Gold, in London and New York, of which the Javini Nana Otios Srebo was very instrumental. Last year, you met the leadership of the British Museum and the Victoria and Albert Museum to reopen negotiations. You asked the British historian and expert on Ashanti, Malcolm MacLeod, and I to serve as technical advisors. You set out our terms of reference and operational parameters. For 9 months, we held many of the meetings in London. Finally, in November 2023, there was an agreement that 32 of the objects from the British Museum and Victoria and Albert will be sent to Kumasi. The trustees of these British museums made the historic announcement, and the world got to know of it. It is all about your evolving new cultural cooperation, as you made it clear at the historic May 2023 meeting in London. It was in the course of the negotiation that you said we should work and coordinate the restitution of objects that the Fowler Museum was to bring back. Since 7 of these were part of the 1844 looted objects, we worked with the museum's leadership and the advisor, Kwesi Anthony, who is a professor of ethnoecology at the University of Tufts in the US. The leadership visited you in Kumasi and worked with the team. The ultimate effort is what we have today. For those who get confused, what we had today were part of the original looting of 1874. However, whilst we have these retained permanently, the British ones, which will get to Kumasi in April, that is 3 months from now, will be with us for at least 6 years. This is more comforting to say than to use the word loan, which many people get angry about. Otumfuor, these are then the elderly objects of your forebears, snappers of the civilization they shared with the world. They are tired objects, but they are also objects of misfortune. But they are home with you. They go back far, but before Asantehene Osei Yawakoto, passing through Asantehene Kwakudia Peini. As you told me recently, this same year also marks the death in Kumasi 200 years ago of your great ancestor Asantehene Osei Bonsu, who died in January 1824. The same year and the same month as his great English friend T.E. Bowditch. As you reign into the second quarter of the 21st century, may your tribe increase among us, and may he also be well with you. At this point, I will ask Kwesiampini to introduce the leadership of the Fowler Museum and for its director to give some comments.
Yo, with us, Ivo, Miwa, Chami, Ubeti, Amato, Otumfuor, Otumfuor, Ababiu, say, Jumadina, or the Shay in Sanadaroma, 122, and so, or the a con, a pen, not a con yeno, and maybe introduce you in Painful no more Fowler Museum, University of California, Los Angeles. You declare made a lecture, Yera, Adaruma, Dr. Sylvia Forney, Honorary Director of the Fowler Museum, Pachonuni. You watch it. You mobile money, if you say, you Radaruma, Omodia, Niman on the Abano, yet the Ba Afibo, young farm FM, Timubo Musima Muni. You hope you, Dr. Eric Jones, Director, African Curator, African Arts, Fowler Museum. You hope you, Dr. Rachel Rayner, Onosuna collections in the Fowler Museum, Hunano, or Heso. Mira, Wadarumao, not just say, Bibaya. No. Na we are director no also will be kakra obeka wadaroma.
Your Majesty, Otumfuor Nanauzeitu to the Second, Chief and Queen Mothers. It is with great emotion that I stand here today to present to Your Majesty 7 historical artworks, some of which were looted from the palace in 1874, and others that were part of the indemnity that the Asante were forced to pay to the British at the end of the Sagrenti War. The history of these objects has become evident to us through research that Dr. Erica Jones, here with me today, recently conducted on the collection that the Fowler Museum received from Sir Henry Wellcome 60 years ago. Once this is clear, we knew that these objects needed to come back to Your Majesty and to the Asante people. This journey for us
one son. What's this about?
Okay, they said you can go ahead and open. Otumfuor.